So this be the video about common fire alarm faults and how to troubleshoot them. Little information about fire alarm systems and faults. Fire alarm systems are critical for safeguarding lives and property. They are designed to detect the earliest signs of fire, providing early warnings to ensure safe evacuations and prompt responses. However, like any electronic system, fire alarms are not immune to faults or malfunctions. When these occur, they can undermine the effectiveness of the entire fire safety strategy. Understanding common fire alarm faults and knowing how to troubleshoot them is essential for any business that is a required part of maintaining a reliable system. Here are some of the most common fire alarm faults and some tips on how to manage them. False alarms. False alarms are one of the most common issues with fire alarm systems. A false alarm occurs when the system triggers without the presence of a fire or other emergency condition. Frequent false alarms can lead to unnecessary disruptions, complacency among building occupants, and can even result in fines from local authorities. Next up are common causes of false alarms. Environmental factors. Dust, insects, steam, and cooking fumes can trigger smoke detectors. Electrical interference. Power surges and fluctuations in the electrical supply can cause the alarm to sound. Faulty sensors. Aging or defective smoke detectors may trigger alarms incorrectly. Improper placement. Smoke detectors that are placed too close to areas that are commonly contain smoke or steam, such as kitchens, bathrooms, heat and vents, or may be more prone to false alarms. Next up are ways to troubleshoot false alarms. Inspect and clean detectors. Regularly clean smoke detectors to remove dust, cobwebs, insects. Use a vacuum or a soft brush attachment to gently remove debris. Check for environmental triggers. Identify if the alarm is located near kitchens, bathrooms, or areas with heavy dust. If so, consider relocating the detector or installing a different type of sensor, such as a heat detector, in the kitchen. Replace faulty detectors. If a specific detector frequently triggers false alarms, it may be faulty and need replacement. Install surge protectors. To prevent electrical interference, consider installing surge protectors or ensuring the fire alarm system is on a stable power supply. Next up is a discussion about when fire alarms fail to activate. Failure to activate. A more serious issue is when the fire alarm system fails to activate during a natural fire event. This fault can have catastrophic consequences, as it may delay the response time of the building occupants and emergency services. Next up is information about why a fire alarm may fail to sound. Power failure. Fire alarm systems are typically connected to the main power supply with a backup battery. Power failure, especially if the backup battery is depleted, can prevent the system from functioning. Wiring issues. Faulty wiring or loose connections can disrupt the signal between the detectors and the control panel. Defective control panel. The control panel, which processes signals from the detectors, may be faulty and fail to trigger the alarm. Next up are ways to troubleshoot fire alarm failures. Regular battery checks. Test the backup battery regularly to ensure it is fully charged and capable of powering the system during the main power failure. Replace the battery as recommended by the manufacturer. Inspect wiring. Regularly inspect the wiring for signs of jammers, wear, or loose connections. Engage a qualified technician to repair any issues. Test the control panel. Periodically test the control panel by conducting fire alarm system tests to ensure it is functioning correctly. If the panel is unresponsive, it may need repair or replacement by a professional fire alarm service provider. Next up is a discussion about volume issues or failure of alarm sounders. Volume issues or failure of alarm sounders. The alarm sounders, usually bells, horns, or sirens, are crucial for alerting building occupants to evacuate. If the sounders are not working properly, even if the detectors are otherwise functioning, people may not be aware of the fire danger. Next up are some of the most common causes of volume issues or failure of alarm sounders. Muted or low sound. Over time, sounders can become muted or produce a lower than expected sound due to wear or obstruction. Disconnected sounders. Wiring issues can disconnect the sounders from the system, preventing them from activating. Faulty sounder units. The sounder unit itself may become faulty due to age, wear, or manufacturing defects. Next up is how to troubleshoot alarm sounders. Regular sound test. Regularly test each sounder to ensure it is producing the correct volume. Most fire alarm systems have a testing function for this purpose. Clear obstructions. Ensure that sounders are not obstructed by furniture, fixtures, or any other items that could muffle the sound. Inspect wiring. Check the wiring connections to each sounder. Loose or damaged wiring can prevent sounders from functioning correctly. Replace faulty sounders. If a sounder is not working despite the troubleshooting, you may need to replace it with a brand new unit that is fully operational. Next up is a discussion about faulty or unresponsive detectors. Faulty or unresponsive detectors. Detectors are the first line of defense in a fire alarm system, designed to detect smoke, heat, or flames. If a detector becomes faulty or unresponsive, it could fail to detect a fire, putting lives and property at risk. Next up are causes of faulty or unresponsive detectors. Aging components. Detectors have a limited lifespan, usually around 10 years. As they age, their sensitivity decreases, and may fail to function properly. Dirt and debris. Accumulation of dust, dirt, or grease on the detector sensors can impede its ability to detect fire conditions. Battery issues for wireless detectors. Wireless detectors rely on batteries, which need regular replacement. Next up are ways to troubleshoot faulty detectors. Replace old detectors. Replace detectors that are more than 10 years old or those that frequently malfunction. Regular cleaning. Clean the detectors regularly to remove any dust or debris that could affect their sensitivity. Check and replace batteries. For wireless detectors, check the battery status regularly and replace them as needed. Ensure the batteries are correctly installed and making good contact. Next up is a discussion about control panel warning lights or error messages. Control panel warning lights or error messages. The control panel is the heart of a fire alarm system, providing status information and controlling the operation of the system. Warning lights or error messages on the control panel indicate a problem with the system that needs attention. Next up are common reasons why warning lights or error messages may appear on a fire alarm control panel. System faults. A warning light or error message could indicate a problem with the wiring, power supply, detectors, or other system components. Maintenance needed. The system may be due to routine maintenance, or specific parts may need inspection or replacement. Software glitches. Modern fire alarm systems often have software that controls the panel. Software glitches or outdated firmware can cause errors. Next up are ways to troubleshoot your way around a warning light or error message on a fire alarm control panel. Consult the manual. Refer to the control panel's manual to understand the specific meaning of the warning light or error message. Most panels have a diagnostic function to help identify the fault. Reset the system. Sometimes resetting the control panel can clear temporary faults. However, if the warning persists, further investigation is needed. Update firmware. Ensure the system's software is up to date. If the system uses outdated firmware, consider updating it as per the manufacturer's guidelines. Professional inspection. If you cannot resolve the issue, engage a fire alarm technician to inspect the system and rectify the fault. The end. Well, that'll do it for this video, going over common fire alarm faults and how to troubleshoot them. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you all next time.